How can creators like us, who are new to building online businesses, who have high value skill sets, how do we scale our monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, to get us the freedom we desire? That is the question, and this newsletter will give you the answers. Be sure to subscribe if these are the types of answers you seek. My name is Boise Gordon, and welcome to episode 13 of Boise Talks Business. This one strategy helped me attract several four-figure clients. Sorry, several four-figure leads. Let me not mislead you there. You see what I did there? This month. I closed one today, actually. This is how I organize my content to build authority, show personality, and win business. In the last episode, I ranted a bit about work-life balance. Well, just to give you a rundown, it is a lie. Don't believe the lie. If you need work-life balance in your life needs alignment, not work-life balance. Work and life are one and the same. Life is 24 hours, work is 8 of those 24 hours. You cannot separate the two. Trying to separate the two will ensure that you always are ill prepared to go after the opportunities that will actually bring you fulfillment. All right. So, just to give you the inspiration behind that article, I talked to so many people that tell me they want better for themselves, that want better lives, and they treat their extracurriculars like it's a job, and they'll work on it for a set amount of time, and then they'll get fed up and then just stop working on it. And I'm looking at them like, okay, like why aren't you like doing this in your free time? Why aren't you filling in your gaps with your quote unquote passion, right? And it's always like, I need a break. I can't just work hard. I can't just go all the time. Like, if you love what you do, yeah, you can. Passion is what drives the most successful people to succeed. So that was just my little spiel on it. Feel free to check that episode out. Episode 12 was pretty fun to record. It's the first time I actually ranted um, for you guys. So you got to hear a little bit of behind the scenes Boise there. But today I am pretty excited. I finally filled the last slot of my program for this month. I might add some more next month if resources permit, but it's really just a matter of scope. Like I said, I just landed this client, so I do want to make sure that they're taken care of. Get an idea, game plan for the next steps, and if I feel like I can accomplish all of their deliverables and still have time to work with one or two more clients, then I'll definitely open more slots up. So if this project will take a lot of my resources, then I will not be able to add any slots. I'll be able to entertain more once, or at least entertain the idea once I have actually onboarded this new client. So with that wonderful news, I have a special surprise for you. For those that are just tuning in, I try not to like perfect these. I don't edit I just one take them. So like if I restart, it's because I messed up in the very beginning. Once I get to like around this area, anything goes. It's a good time, but perfection is a lie. So we're here. So with that wonderful news, I do have a special surprise for you guys. Today, I will be breaking down the foundation of my content strategy for those looking to build their businesses. This is an enhanced content strategy from the one that netted me a four-figure deal this month, really today. So I'll make it quick. It's not super long, and it's not a super complicated strategy. I am a fan of simplicity, so I believe the simpler something is, the easier it is to scale it. That is how my content strategy works. So, content strategy 101, the basics. Before I get too far into my specific methodology, there are a few things you should know about content strategy if you didn't know them already. I do not plan to treat you like a newbie or a rookie, but I will share with you, some of what I've learned along my path. And I'll be explaining this a little more for the podcast listeners. Y'all tend to get a little more value because I don't feel like typing everything out. I can get a little long-winded with my fingers, so this is kind of off the hip. So the first thing is common topic plus personal perspective equals unique content. A lot of people tend not to understand this aspect. They feel like they have to talk about brand new things that have never been said. They have to, say them in ways that have never been said. And then it gets all confusing when you actually start to absorb their content. Take a common topic, give a personal perspective. That is unique enough to garner attention. Like, for instance, I'm talking about content strategy and I'm adding in my own tidbits of information, my own perspective. I'm not making this isn't world changing. Like the content that you'll read is stuff that I've gathered and consolidated from other places. So It's not like super crazy, but you're hearing it and you're seeing it as a unique thing because I am the one giving it to you in a way that only I can give it to you. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're going through your stuff. Batching posts allows for consistency and efficiency and consistency. So once you get the hang of this content strategy, you'll have kind of a game plan um, to plan posts for months at a time if you really want to. And then staying focused on the main objective is crucial. Stay focused on the main objectives at all times. It's very easy to get caught up in the social media world. Try to do too much. Start writing about money, Twitter. Lose focus on why you're actually writing on the platform in the first place. Um, it's very important to just stay focused on why you're on the platform. Don't get caught up in the numbers, the metrics, the followers. Like I said, I just landed a 4-figure deal and I only have 142 followers, right? Um, so just to give you food for thought, it's not about following. It's really about impact. And that's what my content strategy is kind of optimized for. And then 4, learning to copyright will elevate your content. If you can clearly articulate your words and make them look pretty, you will have higher conversions with your stuff. So if you don't know how to copyright, if you don't know how to articulate your words in a simple way via writing, learn. If you don't know how to write hooks, learn. Whatever aspect that you're missing from your writing, learn it. And then 5, maintain brand values always. So every company has a brand. Every personal brand has a brand. A set of values that tells people what it's about, how it's going to operate, what to expect. Never go and be different than those values. Don't portray yourself in a way that is misaligned with that. People want to talk about being off brand and complicated, like I'm human, I can do whatever, but that's not true, right? Like, that's not true. Like, this is designed to show people the side of us that we want them to see. Sure, you can be authentic and 100% yourself all the time, but you can do that without breaking your brand values. And I stand by that. Like, I have a set of brand values. If I had to list 5 off the cusp, it would be funny, knowledgeable, empathetic, uh, smooth voice, smooth talker. Oh God. And um, unserious. I don't know. I guess unserious is cool. Like, I don't really like to be seen as this like macho, like stare you down and force you to swipe your card. Like, I'm unserious, dude. And that's what I want people to see when they read my content. That's what I want people to hear when they hear me speak. Because I'm being me. It's not me being different than who I am. I can be serious, but I have no reason to be. I'm chilling. This is like the easiest job I've ever had. So those are the big 5 when it comes to foundations of content strategy. What's next? Content ratios. This one's important. It's like the basis of my content strategy. So content ratios. Everyone is always looking for a framework for what to write about. They're always confused. Like, ooh, do I write about? Do I write about this? Do I write about that? This is my framework for that. It solves that problem. I stole it from somewhere, and I wish I remembered where. But I don't. I think it was a book. Might have been Alex Morrissey. I don't know. Could have been $100 million offers or $100 million leads. But I did take it, modified it. So feel free to do the same to my stuff. All my stuff is out here. It's free. Use it as much as you want. I only help clients implement what I say. I'm not gatekeeping what I know. So introducing content ratios. It's how you keep a balanced, variable, and focused profile. It allows you to venture into fun topics while maintaining focus on your main niche. Here are my splits. Business solutions as a topic takes up 50% of my content. I attack my niche problem and talk about my business's solution to that problem. Success marketing takes up 30% of my splits. I leverage success stories and case studies as proof of my business concept and my personal capabilities. I'll talk about how long I written on Medium, how long I've been on Twitter, my business scaling to 1.4 million and then 2.5 million. Like, all of these things are like proofs that I know what I'm talking about. So like, I don't like to make that a bulk of my brand. Some people prefer to make that 50%, but I don't want people to feel bad for not having similar success. I'd rather just show them how they can fix stuff, and then use the success marketing as a way to prove that they should take my advice. And then personal interests, 20%. Talk about your personal interests and passions and relate them to your brand values. I like to talk about tennis. I'll talk about basketball from time to time. I'll talk about eating food. Pretty much whatever I'm doing for the day. It doesn't have to be, you know, broken down the way that I've done it, um, as you'll see in the next part. But the next part is just a simple way of thinking about it. But in general, you can just take this and go with it. Like every out of 10 posts, every two should be about something personal. Every three out of that 10 should be success. And that's just my splits. You can adjust your splits as you feel need or feel a need to. They should be tailored to your audience. So just try and think about the type of content you would like to hear about, or the type of content that your audience would like to hear about when it comes to like what you're offering. Um, for some businesses, personal interest may be the main thing. Like if you're doing life coaching, or like I don't know, just like ghostwriting maybe. I don't know. And then for other niches, success marketing could be more of a thing. You know, if you're talking about like betting, you probably want to talk about success marketing. Like if you're selling betting services, or like, you know, like a betting community, you probably want to talk about how many people have succeeded and how much money. So it really just depends. Adjust as needed. I am still adjusting mine as I go. So what's next? Content buckets. This is kind of like that next step in the process for me. Um, this is where I take my content ratios and go a little more in depth with them. So for the most part, I am essentially limiting my content scope to ensure that I am meeting the most important parts of my audience's needs. All right. So over the past 100 days, I've been collecting data. Once again, I was writing on Medium, writing a daily newsletter, trying to build my business, trying to get new clients. And I've been collecting data on what works and what problems exist in the market. And this has allowed me to form content buckets. Content buckets are essentially just predefined general topics that I can write about, um, that I know will resonate with my audience. Right. So for the sake of math, um, here's what I suggest. For the sake of math, we'll make 10 content buckets, but just for your knowledge, make no more than 15 and make no less than 5. 5 being the minimum, 15 being the maximum. You do not want to get so many content buckets that you're, just never completing a full cycle. You do want to have repeat conversations about the same things, just to get that familiarity and build your authority on that specific problem. So you don't want to target too many things. So if 50% of my content is geared towards business solutions, then 5 of my buckets will reference the specific niche problem that my audience faces. So for instance, like funnels and conversions, that is probably what my, you know, something that my content buckets will cover. Just because I know that that's like a problem that you guys might have. Content strategy could be a content bucket. I'm talking about that right now. Just list out as many problems as your niche might have, and then pick the top 5 that you feel are the most annoying problems that your niche probably faces, or the ones that have the least amount of solutions available. Right. I went a little above and beyond with my content buckets for my solutions because I targeted the philosophy of the problems and the reason why they actually happen, not just the problems themselves. Empathy is my superpower, so I tend to get pretty in depth when it comes to like personal analysis. This allows me to keep my content buckets forever rather than changing them later. If you do choose to go after a specific problem, as time goes on, that problem might get solved more, or you might find a bigger problem. You just switch it out, and then you have another content bucket, or you add another one on there. And then 30% of my content is geared towards personal interest. Um, 30% is geared towards success marketing. So 3 of my buckets will refer to my top 3 success stories. It could be about my clients. It could be about my own experiences. It can even be about someone else's success, and I'm analyzing it as a case study. Um, so that always helps, adds credibility. It's like authority building content, in addition to the business solution stuff. And then 20% of my content is geared towards personal interest. So 2 of my buckets will touch on some of my extracurriculars. It could be my newfound love for tennis. It could be my past love for video games. It doesn't really matter what I pick, as long as it's something that I care about enough, and I'm passionate enough to talk about. So pick something that you have fun talking about. You'll have an easier time when you're doing these. And this is really important. This is probably the most important part. Like everybody wants to talk about like success marketing, like business stuff. Like, the personal interest will put you in the next echelon, because you talk about tennis and you have a guy that's picking between multiple different solutions, and you're talking about your solutions and you're talking about your success, and it's similar to everybody else's, but you're a tennis nut. you like Andy Murray, you like Federer, you like Coco Golf, like you're listing off all these places and you're maybe attending tennis events, like he's gonna resonate with you a whole lot more, right? Like I vibed with one of my clients or a client that I just closed off of anime and K drama. Like, like it wasn't like a super big thing, but that little bit of an edge puts you in that next level. So if you make that stuff public, if you make that stuff public, it makes your life a whole lot easier later, especially on the conversion side. And now that your content buckets are filled, it's just about creating content in a cadence. So just making sure you're repeating those content buckets. It could be 10 discussed or 10 buckets filled per week or 10 buckets touched per month. It could be, 5 a day and you're cycling through them every 2 days. It doesn't really matter. Just whatever works for your audience and whatever is comfortable for you. Um, I recommend starting with a few buckets and expanding to more as you learn more about your market. So you don't want to solve the wrong problems for people. You want to make sure that you're being super authoritative and picking quality over quantity there. And there you have it. Your required content creation brain power has now been reduced to 50%. Yeah, I only have to think about half of it. It's no longer what am I going to talk about today? It's how am I going to talk about this? That's it. Right? It is an uncomfortable process to start with at first. You'll feel kind of boxed in, but once you adjust and you move past that barrier, it's so easy, right? Thank you so much for tuning in. If you were listening, or you were reading, or you were reading and listening, whichever one is fine, be sure to subscribe to my Substack so you can get the most value out of this content. It definitely helps to read along as I'm talking so you can have like a physical representation or a reference point. If you liked something that I said, you can always just relook at the newsletter instead of re-listening. You can subscribe to the Substack at boisetalkscom/subscribe. I'm not recording this or re-recording this. It will be www.boisetalks.com/subscribe, and that should be the link to do that there. Reminder, as I said, I just covered my last slot for this month and next, so I will start a waitlist for those that are interested in getting dibs on the next time I do open slots. Again, if I can have more next month, I will, but not until I am confident I can facilitate the needs of my current clients. Right, so it really is just dependent. We'll see what happens. All in the name of quality. All right, so if you are interested, reply scale, and we'll hop on a free strategy call to see if we're a good fit for each other. And then I'll add you to the wait list if you like. And then the next time that I have slots available, I'll just kind of send an email off to in order of who signed on. There'll probably be like a couple hours in between each email, and then if no one wants those slots, then I'll just put out a blast to the regular newsletter. Cool. Thanks so much. I did not expect this one to take this long, but it did. Bye guys. Enjoy your day.